has a date or something like that, that'd be okay too. So, Tylan joins us now, and are you going to be at the spring game Saturday?
Yes, yeah, I'll be there.
Well, what you need to do is come down to the sidelines or go to the booth and join Dave and John and test yourself out on doing some color. Just so you know for the future, because someday when your playing career's over, you may want to do a little TV because you are. I've told you this. I brag on you and I brag on Trayson and I brag on your mom. You guys have such a great personality. You're such good people. You'll be terrific on TV, and you may be doing some of that before your playing days are over. Because I know your agent, and she's sharp, and she may get you aligned with some off-season things that'll be kind of fun that might be in the media because you'll be good at that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, we'll look into it. I mean, that wouldn't be too bad of a after football career choice, but yeah, definitely, I appreciate it.
Hey, speaking of your agent, Kelly Masters, and she's an Oklahoma gal. I've known her for a long time, and I know she's Blake Jarwin's agent with Dallas, and she's done such a terrific job. How hard of and you were pretty ready to go right after we finished with the Cheez It Bowl, but how hard a process was that for you to pick someone to trust with your future?
Yeah, yeah, do that whole process. I had people hitting me up, even before I had got injured, because they're expecting to come out my junior year. So it was a tough, long process. But I actually had my family help me through that whole process. Choosing and taking meetings with different agents and stuff. But at the end, we think Kelly was definitely the best fit for us, and just the genuine personality that she has. She truly wants what's the best for me and my family. So, overall, I don't think I could have made a better decision.
Yeah, in Thailand, this is so different. This is the first pro day I wasn't personally at in a long time, and I just thought, the less people there, the better, because from the media standpoint, because the most important thing about that is you, the athletes and the scouts and the NFL people getting what they need out of that day. And I mean, when you didn't get to go to the combine, even though you were chosen, you had this. I know you went to Indy for some medical tests, and I don't know if you've even flown in or if people have flown in to talk to you, but what has this process been like for you? Because I know it hadn't been because of COVID, it hadn't been normal, but do you feel like and you did have the Senior Bowl too, so that was a big part of it because I think you really stood out that first day at the Senior Bowl. You were killing it. But do you feel like you got yourself out there like you wanted to?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously the combine would have been a more, uh, I guess, a better way to put myself out there in some terms. But I think, it's been a weird, different, obviously process than past years. But, I think I did the best that I could to try to put myself out there, like you were saying, from the Senior Bowl and, just meeting with teams. Most of them have been all virtual. I don't think they're actually doing in-person meetings, but, the Senior Bowl was one of the ways the only times we got to actually meet with scouts and things like that in person. So I think with the circumstances, I think I did the best that I could.
Like I said, you've got a great personality. You and your brother both. I think your mom did a tremendous job with you guys, and so coming out of those virtual interviews with teams, you're smart enough to realize, oh, I really connected with those people. I think they connected with me. I connected with them. What have those been like, and maybe what were some of your favorite meetings that you've had that, like, wow, I enjoyed that. I mean, whether you were talking ball or just talking, general, because I know they do some of that too. Um, Talk about some of that.
Yeah, really, it was pretty smooth process. If you ask me, I think most of my meetings that I had, they went really smooth. We had good conversation. Like you were saying, some meetings were, obviously talking about ball, but I really enjoyed some of the meetings. Some teams were like, we the film speaks for itself. We're really not here to talk too much about football. I just kind of want to get to know you as a person, and we just talk about things like that and how this whole process has been. But it's just been, it depended on who the team and who it was. But I really enjoyed the the meetings where we kind of just sat and just talked about life and this whole process and just really got to know each other.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I haven't talked to Dave about it, but you know, there's a lot of NFL scouts that somehow have our numbers, and over the years, every year, and I probably have been called more this year than I have in the last 3 or 4. But I get calls because people know I interview guys after games, and and so I'll get calls from NFL people. Usually it's scouts, and I know a bunch of scouts anyway. Sometimes it might be a front office person. Sometimes it's the media relation person from a team, and they'll say, "What's this guy like with the media? Is he friendly? Is he cooperative? Is he not talkative and would rather not do it?" Because that's a part of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had 3 or 4 calls, and the first one I got, and I'll even say which team it was. It was Tennessee, and they said, "Hey, wanted to ask you about Tylan Wallace." I probably don't even need to ask, do I? And I said, "No, you do not need to ask about him because there's nothing wrong." I mean, the guy does. He was one of my go-to. That's what I told him. He was one of my go-to guys when it was tough after a loss. You could go to him. He would be a stand-up guy. He would do it. He wasn't happy because no one's happy when they lose, but he was right. He does it right, and so that was what was funny. He laughed. He goes, "Yeah, I really didn't even think I needed to ask about him because everything you get is this guy is personable and he's." I said, "Yeah, no problems whatsoever." But does that? I mean, and that always surprises guys sometimes. Really, they want to know how we are with the media, but the NFL is an all-comprehensive thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I try obviously in those situations, like you were saying. I remember, coming up to having to do media after games, especially tough losses and things like that. But for me, I try to always have a positive attitude, no matter what it is. That's just how I was raised, and I think that's just the right thing to do. So for me, it's obviously in those situations, sometimes it can be tough, but I just try to keep that mindset, no matter what it is.
Yeah, I know well enough at this point. You're just ready for the draft to happen, ready to find out where you're heading and get along the way. But part of the fun for fans is looking at what the possibilities are. And one I've seen in some of these mock drafts, which probably drive you nuts, and you may be to the point where I don't even want to see a mock draft. But one of the things that excites me is I've seen a lot lately of you being tied to Green Bay and then more recently Tampa Bay. And I've thought to myself, man, what a great way to break in with a Hall of Fame quarterback because Green Bay's got Aaron Rodgers, Tampa Bay's got Tom Brady, and I would think both those guys would enjoy throwing to a receiver like with your talents. And then for you to be able to pick the brain of a quarterback and work with a guy who's got that much experience, that would be kind of neat. What's your thought?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, either way that goes, those are, probably arguably two of the greatest quarterbacks to play, so, honestly, you can't go wrong either way. But to get an opportunity like that, it's hard to put words to. That'd be a very, very exciting and blessed opportunity to be a part of. So, I guess hopefully we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, like you're saying, that's an opportunity that, you wish for.
And then the other aspect of it, and we'll let you go after this. Um, where do you want to live? And I mean, and that's the tough thing in the when you're a professional athlete. You can't, till maybe the end of your career, you can't really dictate where you want to be. It's dictated to you. And you grew up in the Dallas area in Fort Worth, DFW. Um, Obviously, I know you love home, but that's probably not going to happen. But I mean, when you've traveled around and looked at parts of the country, is that important? Are there any parts of the country you say, "Wow, it'd be kind of neat to live"? I don't know, in Florida, and maybe I love Seattle. Seattle's kind of a fun place for me. I, I kind of dig it, but and some people like to be in a big city, like a New York City type deal or a Chicago. But have you thought about here in another week or two, well, actually in another week or so, you're gonna be moving off to a new home.
Yeah, that's been something me and my whole family have been sitting here, talking about, thinking about just like where the possibilities where I could end up. But for the most part, I'm kind of just trying to take it one step at a time. Wait till it actually happens and figure things out from there. But yeah, I mean, you never know. You could end up in some place like you're saying, Seattle. You could end up even in somewhere in Florida. It's just you never really know, especially my situation. But I'm just really wish for the best, and no matter where I go, I think I'm going to be happy.
Well, and I lied. Last thing, because I've been very careful about this. You guys came in together, you and Trayson. Obviously, you got dealt the deck dealt you some great cards. You had aces. Trayson got dealt some tough cards, and he's made the very best of it. And I think I'm looking at a guy that's got a future of being a great, not just a good, being a great football coach. And I watch him every day at practice, and just this, the thought when you guys came in here together, you had dreams of both doing kind of what you've done, but how proud you are of your brother and what he's accomplished in the way of just saying, okay, this is what I got dealt, but guess what? I'm going to be good at this, and I know I'm proud of him, and I know you are too. But talk a little bit how this has worked out for both you guys.
Yeah, like you were saying, he did get dealt a tough set of cards, and things didn't go out obviously the way we planned them to. But I mean, obviously, he's handled it really well. A lot better than I think most guys would have handled that situation. And but like I was telling you, I think that's just kind of how we were raised. We were kind of raised to take whatever life gives you and make the best out of it. We were never really negative people. This is not how we are. So just that just shows, the kind of guys that, me and him are, that we try to make the best out of every situation. And for him to bounce back after something like that, have the game taken away from him like that, and to turn it into something positive and, obviously set himself up to have a great future, I can't be more proud of him.
No, and I think he's contributed to your success too. I've watched him on the sidelines countless games where he's over there giving you some advice that he sees from the sidelines because he knows your game so well. So I think you guys have made a terrific team, and I will say this, and I don't have to say this, but I'm going to. The two Wallace boys, if I could have two walk in every year like that in this program and get to deal with them, it would be a joy because you guys have been as good as it gets to deal with, as good as it gets.
Oh yeah, Eric, I appreciate it. We try to be. I try to make everybody's life easier if I can. So that's just kind of how we are. But I appreciate it.
Well, there's going to be an NFL team going to be real lucky to get you on board, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that holds. But appreciate it, and come check me on Saturday too if I don't see you before, because I'm gonna give you some barbecue gifts, gift certificate, and maybe you and Trayson can down some ribs or something sometime.
Oh yeah, hey, I appreciate it.
All right, hey Tylen, I appreciate it. Tell Kelly I said hello when you talk to her again.
Definitely. Oh yeah,
All
I
right.
will.
All right, Tylen Wallace, and again, he has been fantastic, and